is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
There he is, the man, the myth, the legend that always has the edge. He is Marcel Jacques of ESPN. Marcel, how are you doing, my friend? You enjoying the combine?
Man, I'm good. I'm hanging on by a thread. I think I walked 9.1 miles yesterday. My phone tells me. So I'm coming back home tonight. I'm kind of ready for it. So but it's been fruitful so far, man. No complaints. Loved having this event back. Love seeing people from around the country again, getting to connect with people again. It's hard to believe that it's been 2 years since they put this on.
Yeah, I'm a little regretful that I'm not there because obviously I was on a 20-year run, and so I haven't gone the last couple of years now to the combine. But next year, budgets and all, we're back there, and I can't wait to go terrorizing all week over there. And you got a break, you bastard. It's like 50 degrees over there, 60 degrees. You are lucky, bro. Come on, you get to walk around in a t-shirt. Now I want you to know, we were last week in New York. Okay, it's like 27, 35 degrees, and this crazy bastard is walking around in a t-shirt. Okay?
There's always, look, I make the joke that no matter how cold you are at any time, there's always one person that's going to walk around in shorts or a t-shirt to remind you that you are nothing. You ain't shit. But it's 37 degrees today.
37 is pretty cold because it was warm yesterday, right? It's warm yesterday.
It's been perfect all week. I've had a jacket, but I haven't needed the jacket. But I'm not prepared for this, so it's time for me.
Were you there the year of the Super Bowl?
No, the year the Super Bowl was in Indy.
Yeah, dude, it was 50 degrees the whole week. It was like awesome, and it was funny because they brought out heat lamps to put all throughout the streets, and it was like the warmest week of the year.
That didn't even need it. That's funny.
Yeah, dude, which is so typical, right? That you'd bring out heat lamps, put them all over the city, so people can walk around. There's some heat, and it's 50 degrees. And Indy people at 50 degrees, they're like walking around like naked. They're like Sean. They're walking around naked or something. I mean,
they're like open the water parks and all of that, right?
Yeah, exactly.
No, so it's always snowed when I've been here for the combine. But I'm coming from Buffalo, so like it didn't really matter to me. I was like, all right, whatever. It's just more of the same. Now it hurts though. Like 37 degrees doesn't feel good anymore. I lost that layer of skin. I lost that blubber already. I got Miami skin on now, bro.
The blood thinned out.
Too much. I'm a Florida man now, apparently.
Yeah. 2 a.m. when you walk out of Nikki Blaine's after having a couple cigars, 4 or 5 drinks, and you're trying to remember all the information you have in your head, and then you got to walk to your hotel and you're freezing your ass off, boy. Oh,
yeah,
man. Damn.
2 a.m. Yeah, we're gonna go with that. We're gonna say 2 a.m. That's responsible.
Sometimes. I mean, I could tell you about some indie trips that were a lot later than that, my friend.
I was gonna say that seems like a reasonable time to be going home. So we're gonna, if people ask, I got home at 2 every night.
That's a light night at Moe's. That's what I say in Indy. That's all right. That's a light night at Moe's. And for people that don't understand what I'm talking about, Moe's is the place where pretty much like most of the media ends up, and it's like 200 media members inside that place just drinking and talking, and you can imagine what's being said in that in that bar where there's 200 some media members there after they've gathered all day trying to get some information. All right. So speaking of information, my man, you were in the scrums for Mike McDaniel and for Chris Grier. First of all, your assessment on Grier and Tua, and saying that I'm not going to say he can't be elite. Your thoughts on that?
I think that's one of those things that maybe got blown out of proportion a little bit. No, the quote doesn't sound good. And yeah, I even poked fun of it because it kind of reminds you of that I don't not feel wanted quote that we had earlier this season. But what he's trying to say, he's trying to keep an optimistic but realistic look at his quarterback. And realistically, over the past 2 years, what has Tua done to show you that he is an elite quarterback. Nothing. He hasn't warranted that sort of praise yet. He hasn't warranted that sort of projection yet. And I think that's what Chris Greer is saying, that like, okay, yeah, he hasn't been playing at an elite level. He hasn't even shown that ceiling during his first 2 seasons, but he's still only 20 games into his career. And now he's got a system in place. He's got offensive coaches and a support system that is all about him, that is going to optimize his talents. And that if he can be elite, this is the staff that's going to bring it out of him. So again, I think that you see that and you flinch a little bit because this fan base has been sort of trained to be either expecting the worst in terms of Tua news or just kind of having to be defensive about their quarterback. But I think what Greer is trying to say is, like I said, he hasn't shown it yet, but if he is ever going to show it, it's probably going to be under this kind of staff and under this kind of support system.
Let me tell you what pisses me off about this entire freaking conversation. The ignorance that's behind it all. Why are we so focused on, well, if the guy's going to be elite? Well, we had a guy named Marino that was elite for 17 years. You didn't build the team around him, dude. People keep missing the damn point here. We're so focused on the quarterback. Meanwhile, Nick Foles wins the Super Bowl, and he's nowhere near elite. He's not even good. You know what I mean? Peyton Manning couldn't throw the ball for 10 yards when he won his last Super Bowl. He's the worst quarterback to ever win a Super Bowl. It's like, it's ridiculous. Let's focus on building a great team. You know, the last time the Dolphins won a Super Bowl, like Bob Greasy threw the ball 7 times in a game. Why? Because they had 5 monster linemen that were going to eat you up alive, 3 running backs that were going to shove it down your throat, a Hall of Fame wide receiver in Paul Warfield, and a defense you couldn't stop. And so why don't you go build a complete team instead? Instead of so much this argument with Tua, all Tua needs to be is good enough to win, but he's never going to be good enough to win it all, just like Marino, if you don't give him the damn team.
And, you know, again, there are few quarterbacks in this league where, let's say you're dealing with injuries, you have a bad matchup, it's just a bad weather game, you know, like there's some sort of factor that gives you a disadvantage. There are a few quarterbacks in this league that are going to elevate your team and kind of even the odds there. Those are the Mahomes, the Allens, the Rodgers.
By the way, that's a game. That's a game that's going to happen.
Yeah,
that's not going to be there's never been ever, I believe, in the NFL. I would like to know the example. I've never seen a shitty team that got carried all the way to the Super Bowl title because they had a great quarterback.
No, there's no Kemba Walker UConn runs. There's no Kemba Walker UConn runs in the NFL. No. Like you can elevate for a game, but yeah, there's few quarterbacks. So saying that Tua is not one of those guys or not going to be one of those guys is not necessarily an insult. But yeah, all he has to do is be efficient enough. He needs to be good enough. He needs to put his team in position to succeed and not blow the game. Don't turn the ball over. Don't make boneheaded plays. So like I said, I think a week or two ago, I think that, you know, with the right system in place, with the right trajectory of development, his ceiling is probably like a top 12, top 13 type of quarterback in the NFL, where he's not a world beater. You know, he's not out here throwing for 470 yards or, you know, 5 touchdowns a week, but he's a good, efficient quarterback that you can win games with. I think that's been the message from McDaniel's staff to the front office, is that we have a plan in place for him. We have a goal in mind of what he'll be able to do. And I think we can achieve it, you know, given we get the right assets around him. And that's where that $65 million of cap space and these draft picks are going to come into play. They have to be smart with them because this team's not ready as is. Like, this is a better coaching staff, but it's still a bad offense. It's still a bad offensive line. It's still a depleted wide receiver room, which we're not talking about enough, man. Like it's really just kind of Waddle and the Yeehaw gang at this point. Like Devontae Parker was too hurt last year. Was too often injured last year.
He's unreliable.
He's great when he's healthy. It's just you're rarely going to get him healthy over the full course of his season.
They have two reliable players.
The Preston Williams experiment should be done. Like that might be a dub. And then Matt Collins is a free agent.
You dump Preston Williams like you dump Dogecoin, okay? That's what you're
Like,
supposed to do, all right? Because Dogecoin and Preston Williams are the same thing. There's no technology behind it. It's just hot air. You got to dump that. Right now, it's Waddle and Mac Hollins. That's it, dude. I got to bring back Mac Hollins because he helps me out in both areas, and he's reliable. Now, the question I have for you, speaking of all of that, what did you come away with the Gesicki explanation? So, do you think that they will adjust, and maybe we're too hard headed that, oh no, you got to be blocking, blocking, blocking? He's thinking, no, you guys are getting ahead of yourselves. This guy's a hell of a pass catcher. We can accommodate that. Your thoughts on that?
yeah, I think it was nice for both Greer and McDaniel to recognize Gesicki's deficiencies as a run blocker. It doesn't sound like they're trying to sugarcoat it or make it into something it's not. But again, like it's an offense that doesn't have playmakers, man. It's an offense that doesn't have guys who can do something after the catch, and Gesicki is one of them. Now, I don't know if I am assuming because he's with CAA, he's going to want big time money, and I would assume he wants to get paid like a wide receiver, not like a tight end. And kind of Kelsey and Kittle sort of reset that market. I don't think that he can realistically command that kind of money, obviously, but I think it's going to take a little. It's going to take a little thinking, a little determination to see if he's worthy of anything over the franchise tag. I'd probably franchise tag him, man. Like I usually hate those words and I hate that for players, but give him a year to see like, okay, what can he do in this offense? What can he be? Can he finally kind of burst through that ceiling? He's always, that, or he's right at that 700 yard, maybe 4 or 5 touchdown range. Like, can he break 1,000 yards? Like, can he really become that kind of special threat? Not just a good player. Can he become that special? So, I think that I would expect to see him back. I thought it was interesting that Greer said they spoke throughout the year with his reps, not as frequently as they spoke with Emmanuel Ogbah's reps, but frequently enough that he kind of knows what he's looking for. And, he did say that Mike and Emmanuel, they're both looking to test their value in free agency. They both said they want to be back, but this is just good business at this point. You got to see what the number is outside before you just tunnel vision and blindly accept something from your home team.
All right, let's just be honest, Marcel. He really wasn't talking to him that much during the year because he's walking around the building going, do I really need to talk to Mike? My head coach hates him, doesn't play him, keeps him on the sidelines. Forget about it. No need to talk. Well, now that we fired him, now we could go call him. And now that we fired him, Mike Gesicki might want to come back. Because I can tell you this, if you brought back Flo, you weren't bringing back Mike Gesicki. That I can guarantee you. So you got over that hurdle now. Now the question is, do you re-sign Gesicki? So let's have a little fun. Let's play the free agent fun game with Marcel Louis Jacques of ESPN. All right? So one Edge energy drink means little to no chance at coming back at all. 5 energy cans means hell yeah, they're coming back. And obviously 2, 3, and 4 are kind of in between. It gets a little hotter and hotter, or shall we say smooth, delicious, and then 0 aftertaste. All right. So let's put it that way. So let's start. How many Edge energy drink cans do we put on Emmanuel Ogbah coming back to the Miami Dolphins?
I'm going to go 4 cans with a sip of a fifth. The Dolphins want him back. The Dolphins need him back. He's their best pass rusher over the past 2 years. He's one of the most disruptive linemen at the line of scrimmage in the NFL. Not even one of the most. He might be. You can make an argument he's the most. He leads the league in disruptive dropbacks, meaning times a quarterback's been hit, pressured, sacked, passes batted down, all of those combined. He leads that by a wide margin since he got to Miami. Now, he's going to want big money, and that's the thing. I think he deserves it, but if he's looking for like depending on what Rosenhaus is asking for, he's not going to get like TJ Watt money from Miami. But if he wants a huge contract, Miami's got the most cap space in the NFL. There's no one else that's going to really pay him more, be able to pay him more. He already knows the system. Josh Boyer is back, fresh start, no income tax. Like, there's not a lot of reasons for him to leave, but there's also, just a little just a little slight chance that maybe he wants to see if the grass is greener on the other side, or maybe he wants a team with a better path to winning. I can't speak for him or where his mind is at in the moment, but if both sides can agree to a number, then yeah, we're going 4 cans and we're cracking open a fifth because I need a little extra boost to get through the day.
There you go. There you go. That's what it's all about. And as I've been saying to everybody, it's also for the development of Jalen Phillips. I think it's imperative that you bring Emmanuel Ogbah back because that would put the weight of the world on the kid. They can double, they can take him out. With Ogbah there, it really opens up your pass rush with Phillips. And you saw it that the kid was able to pick up some easy sacks because you've got to worry so much about Ogbah being so disruptive in so many different ways, like you talked about. All right, Mike Gesicki. Does he return to the Miami Dolphins? 1 to 5 cans of Edge energy drink.
I'm gonna go 3 cans here. 3 cans for Gesicki. I think he gets franchise tagged. I don't see a long-term deal necessarily getting done. I hate the franchise tag for players. It's not fair for them. But from a team perspective, it's the simplest way to just make sure that he's going to stay on this up. He's going to stay on this upward trajectory. Make sure that he fits in the system well. Make sure that he can still be efficient and, like I said, break through that ceiling. So I'm going to go 3 cans for Gesicki. I think he's back on the franchise tag.
I love that. I think you're 1,000% right. They tag him and then they say, let's try the experiment. We don't have enough weapons. He's a weapon. Let's see if we can work with him. And then during the year, if they figure that he's can block, you'll get the extension by the end of the year, actually. Before the season is done, you'll have the extension if he shows that he can acclimate to the system and be a guy that can help you out a little bit in blocking and then be the fantastic pass catcher that he is. Because we all know he's not going to ever turn into Kittle or Gronk or anything like that blocking. That's not who he's ever going to be. I love that on your part. I think a tag for a year and a test drive for Mike McDaniel. I like that. 3 cans for Gesicki. Mac Hollins, one of my favorite players on the team. I think a guy you really, I think glue guys. When you talk about glue guys, that's a glue guy. So talk to me about Mac Hollins. Does he come back?
Yeah, I'm gonna go 5 cans for Mac Hollins, man. Your special teams ace, and those guys are hard to come by, man. They're hard to come by, and you could tell when they are on or off the field. And as a gunner, as a special teams stalwart, he's got value just from that alone. Not to mention he was basic.
Reliable.
He was basically Miami's best deep ball receiver last year, man. Like when I was just thinking about it the other day, like this wasn't a very productive group altogether, except for Waddle and Mac Hollins when given an opportunity. Team captain, again, glue guy. When you're a coach, you don't want to come in here and start disrupting the fibers of the locker room. I think Mac Hollins has a great pulse on it. I think it would be a mistake to let him walk. Not to mention, it's not like he's going to get crazy money elsewhere. Like, I think, again, this is just like with Ogbah, it's a situation where, man, look, if money is the issue for you, Miami can maybe shell out a little hometown bonus for him. But I'm fairly confident that the team wants him back. Mac wants to be back. Let's go 5 cans for Mac Hollins.
All right. 1 to 5 cans of Edge energy drink. Smooth, delicious, 0 aftertaste. The link is below, by the way. 1 to 5 cans for Nick Needham. Does he come back?
I'm going 4 cans for Nick Needham. Good slot corner, improved every year in the league. They don't have a replacement, and I think that's an aspect that we need to start thinking about when considering, okay, are they going to move on from this guy? Are they going to do X, Y, Z? Is what can they do better? What more could they get? What better player could they be getting? And I think it's McDaniel's decision to keep Josh Boyer as defensive coordinator speaks to his desire to want to kind of keep things in place as much as possible on defense. That includes Nick Needham, who is, about as close to irreplaceable as their starting nickel corner as it gets.
Devontae Parker, 1 to 5 cans of Edge energy drink. Does he come back?
You know what? I'm gonna go 2 cans here. I get the sense that this wide receiver room is about to undergo a widespread overhaul. I think that the staff sees it as a problem right now, or saw it as a problem last year. And Parker, good receiver when he's healthy. Great 50-50 ball guy, but he's a 50-50 guy because he doesn't separate. I think maybe a wide receiver needy team might be willing to make like a draft day trade or draft weekend trade. You can maybe get, a late day 2 pick for him or early day 3 pick. You're not going to get anything crazy. So I don't want anybody expecting a first or second round pick for Devontae Parker. The time to do that was after the 2019 or 2020 season when he had 1,300 yards. You're not going to get that kind of compensation for him anymore. I think that this staff is looking for guys who can separate and guys who can make things happen after the catch, neither of which are Devontae Parker's strong suit. So it's not necessarily an indictment against him as a player. It's that I don't think that he fits this offense anymore. See what you can get for him on the market. 2 cans.
Eric Rowe, 1 to 5 cans of Edge energy drink. Does he come back?
I would say 3 cans. It's nice to have that rotation at safety, but let's be very honest here. Javon Holland and Brandon Jones should be playing the majority of the snaps there. I think that, Rowe, he filled in while Jones was injured. He filled in while while they kind of found their footing there on defense. But they've got their safety tandem. Depending on how much he wants. If he wants starting money or if he wants a starting opportunity, he's not going to get that in Miami. He deserves to test that and get that elsewhere. I think they'd like him back at the right price, but I think there is a hard cap of what they're willing to pay a rotational safety. So let's keep that at an optimistic 3 cans. Maybe the 3rd can has been sitting for a while. It might be losing a little bit of that coolness. It might be warming up a little bit, but it's still good. It's still good.
It's always good. Edge is always good. Smooth, delicious, and 0 aftertaste. Marcel Louis Jacques, always great. That always great. Appreciate you, my friend. Make sure you follow him on Twitter at Marcel_LJ. And, of course, catch him a couple times a week here with our Edge Energy Drink, Miami Dolphins Insider Report. Live the edge this weekend, my friend. I appreciate you.
If I can add one more in there, I'm gonna go 5. I'm gonna go 5 cans for Xavier Howard. 5 cans for Xavier.
Oh, okay.
Howard. You bring in Sam Madison as a cornerbacks coach. You fulfill your promise. Like it sounds like Greer said they're fulfilling their promise to restructure and revisit his contract at the end of the season. I think that's gonna go a long way with Xavier. New guy who's had quote unquote several meaningful conversations with him in person and on the phone. I don't think he was a big Flores guy. So, maybe a renewed interest, renewed energy in this team. Greer himself said right now his expectation is that X is a Dolphin next year. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid, or in this case, I'm drinking the Edge energy drink. 5 cans. I'm fully confident he's in a Dolphins uniform next season.
I love it. Follow him on Twitter at Marcel_LJ. And, of course, catch his work there at ESPN. Always kind enough to join us on the program. Marcel, thank you, my friend. Have a fantastic weekend.
Appreciate it, man. I'm coming back to Miami. This is too cold for me.
Damn right. Come on back, baby. Be good. There you go. Marcel Louis Jacques.
You now This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.